Gonna
Good evening, everyone. Today is Monday night, June 6th. I am so excited you guys are joining us today. It appears that Mark and Juanita have already beat me to Hawaii, but all good. 1 week we'll be there. And if you guys are not coming with us to the leadership event this year, start working it for next year. We don't know where it's at, but just start working now for next year. I'm so excited you guys are here for our wine opportunity call, that whether you were invited here by someone or this is not your first time, but you just want to get more understanding of what we do here. I'm really excited that you're here because every week it's different. Same basic information, but we're still learning everything. The only wine experts here are Rory and Tanya, right? I'm still learning. And I'm so excited to always have my notebook and pen here because you never know when a little golden nugget is going to get dropped here. So if this is your first time here, be sure to thank the person that invited you today to this call so that you can find out about how amazing this club is. And it's now my privilege to introduce our very own CEO and tour guide next week in Waikiki, Rory Rickard. Hey, Rory.
Hello, Stacy. Thanks for that. And I'm going to just start out. We have an awesome opportunity to cover, but we have a lot of fun here. Wine, first of all, doesn't come from ugly places of this world. God purposely put it in beautiful areas. It needs that sunshine. It needs that moisture. It needs that green growth areas, right? So, you know, we get to have a lot of fun every year as we go to Napa to our vineyards and celebrate that. I'm going to talk about that at the end of this. So I'm going to go through the opportunity. And again, we have a lot of fun here, like incredible fun. And we're always adapting towards fun and as many people as we can have fun with. Okay. It's, wine's a social thing. And, no one should have to drink wine alone. You can still do that, but it's always more fun to have a wine party versus, a glass of wine. It's always fun to have a party. And with wine, it's always brings in way better conversations, way better lifestyle aspects of it. I always say all roads lead to wine, and that's every road I can think of, because in my life, my best experiences have been around events with wine, or something that is even more impressive than wine by itself, and that is wine and food pairings that go well together. That is an exceptional event, and we do that every Wednesday night on our Wine and Dines, where we get to experience foods and our wines combined and educate and discover together some amazing food combinations. So we do that on Wednesdays. So write that down. Wednesday is the same URL you came into here, whatever one that was. We have a couple of them. The wineanddineshow.com will take you right there. It's at 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on Wednesday, every Wednesday. Even if it's a holiday, we all like to have food on the holidays too. We enjoy that. So that's Wednesdays. We also do trainings on Saturdays. Same location, different time. It's at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Central, and noon Eastern. And we do trainings on how, like last time it was on fermentation, and we're always teaching on how to market or new content about wine and education about wine on Saturdays. This is something that can be a hobby for a lot of people, just something to be fun part of, a way to get your incredible wines for just free. Also part-time, full-time, and career life-changing income. We have people that make six figures a year doing this awesome opportunity. And what this opportunity is not, we are not selling wine. Nobody's selling wine out of their basement or their home or their cupboard. We're not doing that. We are literally inviting people into our Wine of the Month club and getting paid exceptionally well for doing so. The difference about wine ambassador and the rest of the world of wine is there are basically two types of wine for easy conversation, and we'll go three types. Okay, we have conglomerate created wines that don't care about the quality or the legacy of wine. They care about the almighty dollar. So they speed up the process, add additives that cheat the taste and flavors that come from naturally creating wine the right way. The right way takes years. So we have conglomerate wine representing 85% of all wines sold in the United States alone. I don't know what the stats are for the other countries. I've been focusing on the US, even though we ship to Canada, we ship to the UK, we ship to Italy, Spain, France, and Germany, and opening up others as we build this. The other thing that I need to let you guys understand is those 85% of wines didn't start out being conglomerate wines. The conglomerates went out and bought very well-known wines that were boutique wines, and they just bought them for the name and the marketing and the respect the label had. They kept the label, they keep the labels, they just change the way they make the wine. And it's something that Tanya and I watched happen. And when we had the opportunity to do this, one of the things we wanted to do was set up a situation where that would never be us. We would never sell out. This is a long-term business. This is our passion business, not let's build this up to sell it. This is something we want to lock up. It's going to be a legacy business for us. Okay. Now, the owners of this company, we are all professional marketers. We also understand that acquisition cost is a real thing. So when you see the compensation structure, the way it's set up, it's because we know how things need to be to run a business properly. And we wanted to partner with our ambassador, our wine ambassadors, which is where the opportunity is. And it allows you guys for some things that you may have never even seen or even heard of in the industry that we're in. We do a lot of referral, person-to-person marketing or network marketing. That's what this is about. We get to share wine with others and get paid very well for doing so. All right. And I'm going to go into the comp plan here in just a second and break it down. But we're talking about wine. The second part of wine, the second way they make wines, right? I showed you the first set, conglomerate, 85% of the marketplace. The other 15% is boutique wines, such as ours, where they're made by incredible winemakers. They're cared for and created. If there's a literal 6 to 8 years of that grape, from vine to grape to bottle, that happens and occurs. And, some of our wines that, they're there for 2 years in barrels, 3 years in barrels, whatever it takes to make it perfect is where the process goes. A lot of love, a lot of time, a lot of resources to create that. And, we got smart about it. So that those second types of wines usually sell retail anywhere from $80 to $120, sometimes more. And there's a lot of care and love that goes into it by the time it gets to you. Well, we looked at it as a business and we cut out literally all the middlemen. And I know that's like a cliche almost, but we did. We have the wine made by commissioned winemakers in Napa and Sonoma Valley, arguably the best in their field. The best ones that make Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignons, the Pinot Noirs, the Syrahs, the Grenaches, everything that we do, right? Our Pinot Grigios, our Chardonnays, they are amazing winemakers, and we commission them to make our wines. Wines are made, stored, cared for in our facilities there in Napa. Then bottled, same facilities, and then they go around the corner to our holding and shipping, separate warehouse, separate situation, and they go from there to your door. They don't touch anybody else that's not part of our setup there. And that eliminates a lot of costs. That allows us to deliver these bottles at a member pricing of like $25 a bottle. Not $120, $25. Don't you dare be judging it that it's not worth the $120. We went retail, it would be. Our wines are super incredible. And when people try them, the proof is in the vintage itself. And we know they're that great because of how they're created, but we were able to drop this down as an opportunity price-wise even, so that we could give the public true wines without the additives, without all the crap that these other companies are putting into them, at reasonably the same price. That was something very important if we could pull it off. We did. So the economies of scale are there. So we're not trying to get people to buy, $80 and $120 a wine and compete head to head. We're bringing them wines they cannot get any other way but through a wine ambassador or a customer. If you're not part of wine ambassador, you don't get access to these wines. That creates an opportunity. And then we take care of the marketing, and we don't deploy this through distributors or other distributing websites. Wine ambassador, you don't get it. and the longer we do this, the bigger this becomes, the more incredible this opportunity becomes, because you can't get our wines anywhere else. And if you go do a Google search or look up our wines, you're going to be awesomely proud of what you see as we've been developing our web presence. And we send the leads that come in from that. They don't go to Tanya and I other than the rotation. If you're a Grand Cru member with us and you're active, you get access to our rotation, which means we rotate the customers and they just go to the next rotation with a Grand Cru that's active. And the reason why it's Grand Cru is that brings up my third way that wines are made. So there's the conglomerate wines, there's the boutique wines, and then there's your, like what I would call your high-end exclusive wine. For us, we call them Grand Crus. If it has a Grand Cru on the label, it's one of these wines. And these are the wines that have a superior fruit. It has to do with the mineral content, the value of that grape. Those make exceptional wines with the right winemakers. And this is where your $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 on up bottles come from. And a lot of people don't understand it because they never had that, right? If I got a room of people together and there was 100 people in there, if I said, has anybody had a glass of wine from a $500 bottle of wine or more, 1% might say yes. Okay. Not everybody is like I guess I would, like a lot of us that understand it, where we would just show up at a restaurant and see the right label, spend $1,000, $2,000 on a bottle for the right occasion because we know what goes into that wine. That is a very special understanding that not a lot of people have. We get to share that, but we do it in our Grand Cru process. And those wines with us run $100 a bottle when bought in a Grand Cru 6-pack or a case. $100 a bottle, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, yet they are worth that much in the retail spot. Our current Grand Cru is worth well over $2,500. And those of you that get to try those, you understand why, because once you get the education and discover, you're like, oh my gosh, that wine was exceptional. And there's a natural process on how we recruit and train people along the way, and it was built into the business. So we have an estate level, a reserve level, and a Grand Cru level. And I'm going to show you this in the comp plan, but I'd like to spell it out a little bit more today. The estate's $300. You get our best price, which is our Grand Cru pricing, to try a case of wine to join the opportunity. You're going to get 12 incredible bottles. We don't add a kit fee or a startup fee. In fact, we give you the best price to get in. It's actually cheaper to become a wine ambassador than it is to be a member buying a case of wine. We want our ambassadors to know our wine. The wine speaks for itself when it's allowed to speak. That's why we want to encourage you to have tasting parties. We want to encourage you to share the message and all the means that we give you access to. Now, you go through that first case, you're going to want another case. We want you to upgrade to reserve. A reserve is $600. You get 2 incredible cases of wine. But if you already bought one as an estate, you just paid an additional $300 and just upgrade. No penalty. And you become a reserve. And then after you've had 2 of our cases, there is no way you're not going to ask yourself this. Okay, these wines are pretty good. I wonder what that Grand Cru really tastes like. That's the natural progression of this. Then you're going to upgrade to become a Grand Cru for $600 and get 6 incredible bottles of wine. And then after you try those wine, and hopefully you have them with a celebratory dinner, we have some amazing Cabernet, an amazing Cabernet in there that if you pair with a great steak, you're going to be like, yeah, that was probably one of the best meals of my life because of how the wine and the food pair. That's one example. But 6 bottles, and then you're going to understand why people pay a lot more money for certain wines. You're going to get educated by experiencing it. And now you're a really good ambassador for us so that when we rotate leads into you, you can speak to the quality of our wines. That's the important part of this. As a wine ambassador, you get discounts on custom cases. So our customers and our wine ambassadors, we're all customers of this product, this incredible product called wine. We get 4 bottles minimum a month. You can get 6 and you can get 12. You can modify that. We have a lot of people that get cases. Tanya and I go through a few cases a month, for instance. We did before this. We now just know that our wines are absolutely made the right way. So you get 4 bottles, and those are going to be 4 different bottles every month. We're rolling out new vintages and new varietals every month. We have 28 in production right now. We got wines being made 3, 4, 5 years in the future, and we go and taste them and make sure they're ready to bottle and kick out. But we determine what's going to come out month to month to month. We like to do great summer wines in the summer, great wines for winter foods in the winter, and so on. We try to do it by season. But we've got these in production, right? So if you get the wines, let's say here in June, and you like them, you need to order a custom case and get more of those wines, or they're going to be gone. And they're going to be gone pretty quick. We had an amazing Moscato that came out. I talked about it for 1.5 years. It sold out less than a month. Sold out, gone. Those things happen all the time because, we're creating so much. We're constantly increasing. We're also growing. So that's how it works. You want a custom case, you got to get what's available. And when it's gone, and new wines are coming right behind it. And there are wines, our labels being created by our winemakers and released on a regular basis because we're creating wine on a regular basis. No other wine club does this, okay? So I explained the 3 types of wines, and I'm gonna explain that there's really 3 types of wine clubs that are out there. We are the 3rd, and we are an anomaly. This is important to understand in the opportunity. And then I'm gonna go to the pay, and then for those that are going to our Grand Cru event or that wanna hear about it, I'm gonna touch base on that because it's coming up pretty quick now. So there are 3 types of wine of the month clubs that are out there. And we've been part of wine of the month clubs for a long time, Tanya and I. So the first type is wine of the month clubs from actual wineries themselves. You go visit a winery, you fall in love with their process and their wines, and you sign up to get their wines that are released quarterly, yearly, every other year, depending on what it was. We've been part of like some dessert wines that were exceptional, and we got them every other year, and that's all you could get them, right? We've been part of other wine clubs that come on a regular basis, and that's from the winery. Now, that's a great way to go, pretty expensive. You'll see that the average price for that wine, and we're talking the same quality level of wines that we produce, just so you know. Those wines, $80 to $120 a bottle. The second type of wine clubs, which is something that's been very popular in the last 5 to 6 years, are the wine clubs that are put out there a lot of times white labeled, like Wall Street Journal Wine Club, or Home and Garden Wine Clubs, or the company called Naked Wines, or these other ones that just pop up and they put things out there. A lot of times you can pay shipping and handling only and get these wines. They are selling conglomerate wines, and not even just that, they're selling wines that aren't moving. They are the discount closeout clubs. That's why they send you different wines. You may not have ever seen the label before, and they are literally wines that are barely worth $1 or $2. The bottle's worth most of it, and that is true. Now, anybody wants to try those clubs or you talk to people in those clubs, we're talking night and day difference from a true fine wine. They're getting what they pay for. If they're spending a couple dollars for a bottle of wine, they're still overpaying for those wines. Once you get a palate and you get an understanding of for the taste of what wine should taste like, those are going to taste horrible to you, and you'll be able to tell with a blindfold on. Yet people buy those and drink them because they don't know better. Okay, we got to educate the world on this. Most people do not understand that those wines in the grocery store that say they're wines are nothing more than a wine beverage that's been manipulated. It's just like they manipulate honey. It's just like they manipulate a lot of our foods. Sad, but true. We're the 3rd type of wine club. There's only one like us that I know of. We've seen others try to create their own wines and put stuff out, but they're not knocking out 28 different varietals. They're not, running their own labels and doing the marketing like we do. We are a standalone opportunity in this big wide world of wine. We are a disruptor in the industry. And that's because we're owned by professional marketers that like to disrupt things. There's money when you change things and make it better. We get rid of the middlemen, run it smarter, better, truer, and know that our product, when experienced, will overcome. And that's who you're part of here with Wine Ambassador, and that explains the opportunity. I'm now going to share my screen. And I'm going to take you to our Wine Ambassador Comp Plan. And it's simple. It's wineambassadorcomplan.com. Didn't even make it, they made it really easy to see. It's a very easy plan. There's 3 ways to become a part of this. One is become a wine customer. $99.95, you're gonna get 4 incredible bottles of wine. Each one of those bottles is worth the price of admission. Each one of those is worth your monthly cost. Incredible. And then for a one-time cost, you can become an estate member, a reserve member, or a Grand Cru. And you can always upgrade to get the better discount, and you just pay the difference, get the difference, like I've already talked about. You can start out as a state member for $300, upgrade to reserve, or upgrade all the way to Grand Cru. You just pay the difference, get the difference. The third way is for those that live in a non-ship state. There's still like 3 or 4 states in this beautiful country of the free that doesn't allow wines to be sent to the door. If you're in one of those, you still want to be part of this opportunity, this is an option for you. The person who brought you here knows all about that. We also have special considerations for countries where we're not shipping in yet. So you can be part of this comp plan, and you'll be part of our Grapevine Powerline system, which is an amazing marketing system that we do a lot of training on, but I won't be covering that today. And that's the third way. Now, again, pay the difference, get the difference. And that also goes to how we get paid. So we get paid 5 different ways. Customers and members alike, we earn free wine. You know, nothing is, I'll tell you, our wines are great, unbelievable wines. But I know they taste a little bit better when they don't cost anything. There's something about it when you get free wine that's this good. And that's what we really want to instill in everybody. And we do it the right way. No tricks and gimmicks here. If you refer one customer, they're worth $400 in free wine to you a year, as long as they're ordering every month, right? So if they order every month, you're going to get, you know, free wine every 3 months. It's a cumulative. 3 wine orders, cumulative, 3 wine, you get free wine. You get a $99.95 credit in your account towards your wine purchases. So if you have 1 customer, you're going to get a free credit every 3 months. 2 customers ordering every month, you're going to get a free credit 2 out of every 3 months. And if you have 3 or more customers you referred in or brought in directly, you're going to get free wine credit every month. So your first 3 customers are worth in excess of $1,200 a year in free wine for you. And we want everybody to have that. And it's an awesome requirement for our ambassadors for the full comp plan. We just want you to get your wine for free. And this allows us to, you know, have you get paid for, you know, steady effort and representing this thing even on a part-time basis. And then ambassadors get 4 more incredible ways of pay. We have ambassador customer acquisition bonus, and we call it ambassador customer because even our ambassadors are customers. So free wine is just for bringing customers in only, but when you bring ambassadors in and customers, you know, your 4th customer forward, you get a $20 acquisition bonus. And then on ambassadors and customers, you get $10 on their orders each and every month they order. And for those of our ambassadors that have hundreds of customers, 100 customers, that's $1,000 a month that they're all ordering. We have some that are making $2,000, $3,000 a month just off this method alone. Then we have our wine starter kits. And because we know how marketing goes and that acquisition costs are real, we also know that when people sign up for our wines, they stay customers for a very long time. So because of that, we invest with you. Now, they're getting an incredible deal on a case of wine, but we're paying you half of what they come in. So they get the lowest price we have on a case of wine, and we're still paying you 50% of that to bring them in. This is the company literally investing and losing money in acquisition costs with you to bring a new ambassador in. Very few companies actually understand the value and of what a member bringing a member in is worth, and it's amazing. We understand it, so we built it in. This is an incredible comp plan, and we made it extremely rich. And there's something you should know. The owners, Tanya and I included, as owners, obviously, we don't get paid to run the company like a normal company. We build with you and get paid from the comp plan just like you do. So we built this comp plan to be super, super aggressive and to pay you guys out. And if we change the comp plan, we change the comp plan for us as well. And I can tell you in the more than 4 years we've been running this, this is here to stay. We pay out exceptionally well. And we've proven that when we lose money to acquire people, it pays itself off. And we're able to make it worth the full-time or part-time effort that people are putting in to bring people in the right way. That's something that it's just something you need to understand. And because we come from marketing and doing that in a professional manner and used to spending a lot of money to bring people in, we understand it needs to be there. Then it gets better, I'll get there. Then we have what's called the binary and the check match. And this is what I would call residual pay. So we build 2 teams of business. We build and there's positions. So everybody has a left team and a right team. The person that's bringing you into this today, they're going to sign you up on their left team or right team. Whatever team they sign you up on, that becomes your team leg that you have support to help you build. Then we teach you how to build your own leg on the other side. So you're balancing out 2 legs. And as you do that, you're able to earn 22% of that every week. And what happens is on Wine Wednesday at midnight Eastern, the computer takes a snapshot of the volume you have on the left and the volume you have on the right, And whichever one is the lower amount, you get paid up to 22% of that based on your rank in the company. Then, as you help other ambassadors that you bring in directly grow their binary out, we give you a check match up to 50% of what they get paid. It doesn't come off their amount. It's a check match on top of as a bonus for you building and helping grow the company. Very simple, very lucrative. And I'll tell you, to be a rank, to rank up here, it's very, very simple. There's a couple requirements I'm going to go over. One is how many personal ambassadors are required. You don't need to bring in 1 million people. You bring in 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10 to max out at our top level. You only need 10 personals. Now, some of our awesome ambassadors have, 50, 60, 70, and that's awesome, helps grow. But the requirement is not that. It's as low as 10 just to be at the top level. We want everybody to have 3 customers. We want your wine to be free, right? That's your minimal requirement. But the volume requirement does have an asterisk on it, and that's because you share volume with the team, and you get, from the time you come in, anything that the team brings in counts towards your volume. Every time they order, it counts towards your volume. It accumulates. There is a 70-30 split. No more than 1 leg for volume requirements can be accounted for. So 70% from 1 leg and at least 30% from the other leg. So you've got to be building both teams to qualify, basically. And that is the only gotcha if you want to look at it, but it's a 70-30 split. And typically your team leg is outpacing your other leg. And I've seen it switch both ways, but as you're building both those legs, you're building that volume up. Then based on your rank, the percentage you get paid in the binary, it goes from 6% to 22%. Your check match starts at 3-star, and at 6-star, it jumps to 50%. We have some of our awesome ambassadors that work with their ambassadors very well. They're making more in the check match than they are in their own check because they're really building up the other teams. And that's a really good model. Then also want to throw in one more thing before I cut to this other thing about our event coming up. Tanya and myself, we're professional marketers. We own lead generation companies. From our family to yours, not from Wine Ambassador to you. We're partners in building this together with you, but from our family to yours, we will supply you with all the leads you need to build your business and the training for it. You know, with the person that brought you here, they'll get you into that training. And we're serious about that. And that's for you and anybody you bring in. We have a massive opportunity because of what we've been building for the last decades, and we're here to share that with you. Now, I'm going to go into something here. We have a Grand Cru event. It happens on Labor Day every year at our vineyards out in Napa. If you're a Grand Cru, you can buy tickets in your back office. Grand Crus can go and they can bring up to 1 guest. We have limited space. Tickets are still available. We just launched them. And I'm going to list this right here. It's September 5th. It's a Monday. People can fly in on the 4th, leave on the 6th. It's going to go late into the 5th. We're going to start around 4 or 5 o'clock. It'll be announced here soon. But 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're going to go all night. And this is where we do our events, our celebrations, our awards, and also hang out in our vineyard, eat incredible food, have the best wine in the world, to share and really celebrate stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And then we obviously fly back and go about building the business. But this is what we do. And I've got these rates here for hotels that we recommend. We're going to be working on some transportation arrangements to get to the vineyard and back. We cannot park at the vineyard. Our vineyard is it's in the heart of Napa. There is no parking, and we got crazy permits for allowing us to do what we're doing, but there's no parking. So we're going to arrange transportation and help you guys find transportation from these hotels to the event. So the pricing is unbelievable for Napa at this time. Using our Sephora app, which a lot of us have used, these are available. So it's on here. I've been emailing it out. Your instructor has access to this as well. From the Best Western Heritage Inn, Hawthorne Suites, and then Napa Valley Hotel and Suites, great place. And then the Spring Hill Suites, Napa Valley, awesome place. So this is where we recommend that you stay for at least 1 night, the night of the 5th. If you're West Coast, you can fly in early on Monday, make it to the event by 4 or 5 o'clock. And just stay 1 night, or you could come in Sunday night. Those coming from the East Coast, I highly recommend you come in Sunday, get in and be there. So that might be 2 nights at the hotel for the event. The tickets are $149 for 1, additional tickets $100. So $249 for 2 tickets. Unbelievable price for an incredible night that we're going to be performing. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's just awesome. And talk with the person that brought you in. Odds are they probably went to the last one, or they know someone that did, or they're going to it. It's an event not to miss. And we're going to be increasing things as we build and grow, and there's some announcements coming out after the next event, which is going to go back to what Stacey was bringing up. We have leadership events, and I'll tell everybody this, there's a lot of things coming out of this one. It's next week in Waikiki. And, we take care of our top producers and our leadership here because Tanya and I like to pour into you to get things better to grow. We're growing this business today, tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. We're building legacy up with this, and we pour into our top leadership in doing so. But I'll just throw this out. Changes are coming. They're awesome to help everybody grow more, and you guys will hear about them after the event. That being said, next Monday and the Monday after, these will still be going on. We have awesome leadership that's going to be running things. Tanya and I will be coming on, depending on what's going on. So just know you're going to see a lot of activity from Waikiki over the next week as well. So that being said, I'll close this out. God bless everyone. Get with the person that brought you here. Get going. It's going to be one of the best decisions you made, and you're going to get an incredible wine. What else can you say, right? All right. Have you guys soon on the next one. See you on the Wine and Dine Wednesday. Bye for now.